So this is known killer of small engines. Uh-oh. It's a different casting, but not by much, I'll tell you that. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Hey everybody. Well, we've got a well-weathered old Craftsman snowblower here, 24-inch cut with 9 horsepower Tecumseh in it. So I had this thing running about maybe 3 years ago, and it's pretty much sat sort of inside, outside, and kind of gets pushed around. And well, winter's coming, and I don't know, maybe we'll get some snow for a change, and I better get this thing going.
Yep, this poor old girl has seen better days, but it's gonna live. I promise you that. I think it makes the most sense to take the gas tank off first. I don't trust any gas that's in there. It's a couple of years old, and obviously there's something going on because I've got it shut off and the carburetor needs cleaning. So I'm just gonna take the whole thing off and clean it all out, put it on fresh another time. That's easy. That's very easy. Cool. All right, so here's what we're left with. That's the fuel line I just cut. Tank set right in here. Look at all this garbage. That's the bottom bracket for the tank. That's the starter, the electric start for the engine. No idea what that is. No idea at all. I'm just looking in the little holes and stuff, and it looks like it's just plugged with garbage. And the worst thing you can do to these engines is not let them properly cool. So you've got to clean that out. So it's probably never been done. Lord knows there's enough mice around here. And it actually doesn't look like it's all that complicated a procedure to flip off. Actually, just that piece right there is probably all I really need. And then maybe if I can see down in there. So it doesn't look that complicated. Of course, it never does seem that complicated. All right, let's give it a shot. Yeah, okay, so one piece of tin leads to another piece of tin. That's how it goes. It's like a puzzle. See if we can get this thing opened up. Okay, there's still more. Oh, there's one there. Can I take the handle off? Can you believe that? The handle has to come off next. First thing we have to do is disconnect the various handles and cables and whatnot to control the snowblower, and they all just unhook. Actually, taking this thing apart is pretty simple. And then this one is underneath there. All right, this handle here just has a quick pin. Just pull that out, and it comes out. That was easy. Pop off these 4 bolts that are holding the handle on, and the whole thing should just fall right off. So this is like just a known killer of small engines. Mouse house, mouse nest, just mice. The fact that you've had mice in here messes everything up. This, you know, you can see that ground wire's chewed by mice. The coil here is starting to open up, like these little metal pieces are starting to expand. So mouse urine is really quite hard on everything, so I suspect that's what's going on here. I ordered a new coil, I ordered a new carburetor, all the gaskets, everything, so I should be able to do a pretty good rebuild on this whole thing. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess right now. I'm going to remove this throttle plate. It's also the shut-off, so that green wire grounds out the coil. This one right here. See what we can do about getting this carburetor off. Take off this old fuel line. That's going to need replacing. Not sure if that came in my kit or not. Whatever, it's going to need it. Oh yeah, that's dry. Yeah, that's really dry and gross. So I'll replace that when the time comes. Right now, let's get this carburetor off. Cool. Uh-oh. A little bit of pitting right there on there, that edge. So water's probably ran in there, sat and sort of pitted through there. You can kind of feel it just a little bit. I don't think it had a gasket in there, but I've got gasket material, so I might just make a gasket to fit in there, just to take up a little bit of that. So I'm just going to spray this whole thing down. This is Dawn dish soap mixed in with some water. I don't really have a fixed dilution. I just kind of squirt a bunch in there, fill it up with water so it's light blue. In time, the soap will break into that grease. Break it down, hit it a couple more times. Maybe right at the end, I'll just give it a flush with just a little bit of water. It'll look amazing. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see what Amazon recommends that we need to get this snowblower going again. I bought the kit, carburetor kit, made in China. There's a chance this snowblower isn't going to get used for 3 years, right? Like, we don't get snow like we used to, but I think this is going to be good enough for this. It's a pretty simple machine. So believe it or not, for like 35 bucks, rather than get a rebuild kit, you just get a whole carburetor, right? I don't understand it. Yeah, this whole thing, this was like 30 bucks. Ooh, nice red knobs and whatever. It'll make it look good, and hopefully it'll make it run okay too. So that's 21st century, folks. And then this did not come in that little kit. I had to buy it separately, but from the same supplier is brand new coil, because that other one's looking pretty rough. So spark plug, we're good to go. I got everything I need except for gas, you know. Change the oil, I suppose. One thing that I did not see in the kit was this fuel line. So I'll pick that up from my local tractor place. It's going to be fun to get back through there, but it'll go. Okay, let's start with these carburetors. So what's going on here is these carburetors are pretty much identical. You know, it's a different casting, but not by much, I'll tell you that. So I'm pretty sure everything's going to be okay. The only thing is there's accessories, like there's this bracket here, and then there's this choke linkage that have to come off of the old one and go onto the new one, which is, you know, no big deal really. straight onto the other one. Okay, nice and snug. Yeah, that's not coming off. Good. Good. All right, as for this choke linkage, Phillips. Ooh, that's tight. Ooh, it's tight. There we go. Oh, it's got Loctite on it, eh? Interesting. You also can put a drop there, drop there. Good. Awesome. There's the choke. That's on, and that's it. Let's take this right apart and give it a clean. Put our nice new gasket on. Don't want to rip it. Be careful. And it goes. This goes in like so. And that goes on. Perfect. What we got to do is put her on. Let's just start these little bolts like that. Just give them a little snug. You know, don't tighten them yet because we got to gap that. Coil there. And that's close enough. Okay, so what you got to do. This is just cardstock, okay? Nothing fancy. You can use business cards. I've heard all kinds of ways of doing this. Just give that just a little snug. Okay, and then we're gonna put that in there like that. Okay, and we'll give that just a little snug. Okay, so that's hopefully gapped. Now, I don't really quite understand timing on engines like this, but somehow if you get that gap wrong, it'll screw the timing up. And I don't know. Look for another video on that, but I just know it works. It won't run right unless that gap's right. While we're doing the coil, we might as well do the spark plug. Okay, just put that back in. As a rule, I find most people put spark plugs in far too tight. You just need to make sure they're snug, to make sure that it seals, to build some compression. You do not need to tighten, tighten, tighten. You'll run into trouble, trust me. And this will come up and on like so. Excellent. Next thing we're gonna do is get this gas line run. So, there's a little passageway right through here. And then this is 1/4 inch. Oh yeah, fits perfect. Okay, and then that tucks behind there so it doesn't get into the flywheel. That comes out right there. There's actually a little trough for it. To pin it in place right there. Perfect. Got the throttle attached. I've got the ground wire for the kill on the coil attached. I just have to put this cover on. Right, so it goes in like that. Just realized I got a bit ahead of myself here. This plate that goes over the top of the cylinder head actually should have gone on before the muffler because this oil filler prevents it from getting low enough to slide in. Probably the easiest way to deal with this is to maybe take out this filler. Okay, so I gave the gas tank a nice cleanup. I took it outside, I drained it into my waste container, I rinsed it out several times, and then I let it dry out for, I don't know, a couple of days at least. It was bone dry inside. Stuck the shop vac in there, took out everything that was in there, and there was stuff in there, by the way, and I'm pretty satisfied it's clean. I have to admit, this oil has probably never been changed. Look at that black goop. I'm just going to put this back on. I'm just going to slide a 2x4 underneath the auger unit, which will put this whole thing on a bit of an angle, which might make it drain just a little bit better and a little bit quicker. It's not going to fit. Well, let's take our chances on a long fall. Just a little better. Back together. Let's take a look at the auger, which I know is actually in pretty good shape, but let's take a quick look anyway. First thing I'm going to look at is it's got all its shear pins. There's a couple down in there on the impeller, on the auger, and there's these grease points. Which I guess just make sure that these shafts don't get rusted together, but they're pretty loose. I'm not going to bother doing that. It'll just make a mess. The last thing I'm going to do, I'll have to put this back down flat, I guess, is I'm going to take off this this fill bolt and just see how much of whatever is supposed to be in there is in there, and find out what's supposed to be in there and put it in there if it's not in there. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll do that next. Just loosen this. I'm just going to take this cable tie and stick it down as far as it'll go, which isn't very far.
I checked the owner's manual, and it turns out that this is the special grease that's supposed to be in there. This thing is actually lubed for life. So all I had to do was make sure that it was still in there, wasn't contaminated, and I can move on.
Okay, got her outside, got her fueled up. So ethanol-free premium here in Canada. We can get our gas without ethanol if we pay a premium. Got the oil topped up. She's all together. Should be fine. Let's give it a hit. A couple of primes. Choke on, throttle. Half, a little bit more than half. All good. Very happy with that. The only thing I have to do is find the cover to cover these belts up. It's back in my shed there somewhere. I keep bumping into it. And it's good to go. I guess the very last thing we need is snow. But like I say, Southern Ontario and Canada, we're not getting all that much snow anymore. Okay, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching, and let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Well, maybe not.